All right, excellent morning to all those who are listening to me right now, or excellent afternoon. Yeah, green, white, green flags are one of the most flamboyant and potent flags, in times like this because it's when it unites us the most, where we see no difference between who is Igbo, who is Yoruba, or who is Hausa, and this is where over 200 million Nigerians are united despite political, ethnic differences. Football is the uniting cord all around the world. And I like the fact that even Maltina, from one of our sponsors, Nigerian Breweries product, Maltina, we're emphasizing on happiness being shared amongst all ethnic group. Anyways, on this note, I think it's important for us to quickly hear what on this day history has for me. Stay with me. When I return, I'll give my submission on it. I'll be right back. All right, many thanks for staying with me. Let me just dive straight to the topic at hand. Of course, I will be talking about the I will be talking about my submission on this the initial segment after the show, but because of time, it's important for us to quickly dive straight to the topic at hand. And of course, my guest today is mathematician. I like to refer to him as a mathematician. It's a pleasure to have you again on the show on Real Talk with Kike today. And of course, the last appearance, on Real Talk was on NIA and of course Airpeace event celebrating Nigerian heroes on the field of athletics and sports. And I must say, how are you doing today? So I saw you earlier eating bread. I wish I can join you then to watch that bread. But many thanks for doing this with me. I appreciate you so much, and I know that anytime I come to you, you always honor my invite. Many thanks again. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. Who am I to refuse Kike Lomo? Ah, you're my sister now.
Thank you so much, sir. So, because of time, I understand that there are a lot of live matches, that is being aired across all stations in Nigeria. So, let's just go straight to the topic at time because I think I would like to start from the AFCON in 2023 in Ivory Coast. I would like your comment on the biggest sporting events in African history in terms of preparation, capacity, to host the continent itself, officiating, management, the ground logistics, name it. From a man like you, I believe that your general perception about this tournament is something that people would love to hear from. So, what's your take thus far from the AFCON 2023 in Ivory Coast before we go straight to the main topic at hand today?
That's an absolutely brilliant question because it totally captures and epitomizes the spirit behind this competition. Beyond the football, you see, the football is the least activity in what goes on in AFCON. AFCON is about unifying the continent of Africa through the instrumentation of a small event. In my personal experiences, I've seen that it is about health facilities in an environment. It is about bringing the people of now 24 countries together to come, youth to come and celebrate and participate in sport. It's about generating a fresh local economy within the country that is hosting the event. It is about putting in place hospitality facilities of order in terms of hotels and apartments to be used and airports that will welcome visitors and border towns that we see, hordes of people crossing back and forth. It's about business, it's about finance, it's about health, it's about sports, it's about everything. A country preparing to host thousands of others from several other countries across Africa. It is the first development tool that we have, but that is not fully appreciated because everybody just thinks of the football, but that's not so. In my experience coming here, for example, I traveled 1,100 kilometers by road and I went through 4 countries and I saw some of the best coastlines you can find anywhere in the world. I saw them physically and I saw the people living along that route. And we visited the slave camps, we visited villages, we visited people. This is what life is all about. So AFCON for me, every time we go to a country to participate in this championship, it's about the unification of the Black person, the unification of Africa, of brothers, particularly in this situation where we have so many neighbors. 11 of us from West Africa are participating in this position. And we're all meeting each other here in friendship, in great relationships that can go further and further beyond here. So in a nutshell, that's what AFCON is about.
All right, many thanks for that elaborate submission. Because I'm trying to manage time right now, this show is for an hour, but because of all the live matches, it has interrupted a lot of the flows of the segment. But quickly, sir, with what you just shared thus far, I would like to touch on the fact that you were part of the squad, won the AFCON for Nigeria in 1980. Glorious moment it was for all of us. What it takes to win it on the African continent, and can you beat your chest and say that our boys, our men, have what it takes to win AFCON 2023 in Cote d'Ivoire? That's my first question to you. I'm trying to manage time right now. The second question to you right now is that, yes, I understand that you've spoken about the unification of Africa, what football does, bringing us together, how you've traveled by road, and you've seen quite a number of things, in terms of, how this football is everything, name it. But the dramatic turnout of events at this AFCON, many representatives nations at the tournament have not found it easy. I've seen a lot of snippets on social media, countries like Ghana, countries like Cote d'Ivoire suffering defeats, have been quite frustrating for them. Let's keep it real on this platform. On a general note, what's your assessment of the level of soccer being played by African teams at the AFCON thus far, with all that you've seen live there, aside, you beating your chest to tell us if our boys are going to win or they're bringing the cup home? Please, I need positivity right now.
Look, you are surprising me with the quality of your questions, because these are really deep things that, one should be careful in answering. Anyway, your first question was about whether the Eagles will win or not. I have been unequivocal about it. I have said it over and over again at different media and fora, and my belief, absolutely, and that's what I shared with the players, is that they will win it. Yes, we have not made the most brilliant team, we have not played the best football, but see how we have managed, even without being brilliant, to win our matches, not to lose our matches. Slim victory. Even they scored a goal for us, but then we succeeded. Whereas there were other teams that played brilliantly, like Ghana played brilliantly, Egypt played brilliantly, but they lost. They lost. So what does it matter that you don't play brilliantly to start with and then you win? It is winning that this thing is all about.
Yes,
so I am unequivocal that the Super Eagles of Nigeria, thus far, they are going to win. I'm not a prophet, but I'm here for that. I traveled all that distance because I believed it, and I've shared this with the players, and I think they're starting to believe it too. Your second question is about managing those people that have been disappointed, and so the quality of the game. I tell you, the secret is that, well, I have not seen more drama in AFCON as I have seen in this past 1 week. The drama in this year's AFCON is unbelievable. And this is because there are no small teams. Every team is a great team in this championship. You underestimate them at your own peril. And there's an equalizer. Something has equalized all the teams. One, everybody is taking football more seriously and investing in it. And two, Cote d'Ivoire has provided a perfect level playing field. You see the grass on which these boys are playing football is the sort of grass they use in Europe. The pitch is lush and green and flat and beautiful to play on. So every team will play well and the competition will be near even. So that's why you have seen this very high quality of football and unbelievable drama. We are seeing African football unadulterated, raw, for the first time, where teams, the game just oscillates from one end to the other. One team is trying to score in 1 minute, and the next minute the ball goes to the other end and the other team is trying to score. One scores, and like that. You don't find football like that anywhere in the world. That is African football defined for you. So this AFCON has become a benchmark. of the sort of things you have to put in place. I'm talking the football content of it, not outside of it. The football content, this has been marvelous. There are no small teams anymore. Any team can go out there and play and win, and we are in that midst at the moment. But I think that slowly and steadily, the Super Eagles will win this championship.
All right. Many thanks for that positive insight or response right there. But, let me quickly ask you this because I'm so conscious of time and I really don't want my technical team back home in Nigeria starts running commentaries, sending me messages and all of that. So let me manage my time before we start raising our voices at one another. But quickly, because I want to touch on Victor Osimhen. Who was recognized as the man of the match for his stellar performance, praises along with Nottingham forward Ola, and I think for Fulham, the star Kelvin Bassey as well, who also received acclaim from Nigerian football fans. I would like your thoughts about our squad at the AFCON. Any promises? I know that you've said that, yes, they would win. That's number one. Also, the second question is the fact that the strength and the depth in Nigeria's attack, has been seen in previous selections by the national team coaches, unlike other African teams like Jose, I think Pasero, who has an expensive list of attackers to choose from across European top leagues. So, with our own narrow wins, do you think that this attack is prolific enough, to make other teams scared of us? Maybe that's the word. Maybe that's not the word to use, but for lack of a better word, right now, do you think that we have that means for them to be scared of us when we're on the pitch?
Let me tell you, Nigeria is the most dreaded team in these championships. Okay. No country wants to play Nigeria because they know that even on a bad day, Nigeria can do anything. We are so difficult to play. We are the most difficult team to play against. And teams know that. Equatorial Guinea defeated us before. Guinea-Bissau defeated us before. But see what is happening now. Against Guinea-Bissau, we had so many scoring chances. If we had converted them, it would have been 3 or 4 or 5. That's the Nigerian team for you. So everybody is afraid of us. I tell you that for sure. Secondly, you mentioned Osimhen. Osimhen wasn't the man of the match. He wasn't the man of the match. It was Moses Simon. Moses Simon was the man of the match. And it's not that he did exceptionally well too. Nobody in the Nigerian team actually did exceptionally well. They played collectively in an organized fashion, very conservatively. They didn't go to express themselves. They just made sure that the other team did not have any opportunity to try and score us. For 90 minutes, the Guineans only had 1 shot at our goal, which was a perfect way to defend when you don't have a good team. And I'm talking of good team. We have good players, as you have said. Some of the best strikers in Europe who are Africans are in our team. We don't have a team yet. And some of them are injured. They're not even playing. And we have our Victor Osimhen, best striker in the continent, African Player of the Year, with all that pressure on his young neck. His pressure under tremendous, everybody expects him to be the superstar of this championship. They are marking him tightly. So it's tough for him. So he hasn't done well at all. But it is understandable. His insistence and persistence is what gave us 2 goals now. That first time, they kicked him, got a penalty kick in the last match. This one, it was his pressure on that defender that made that man shoot the ball into his own goal like a striker. So Victor Osimhen hasn't played well in this championship, but he has been effective. And he's going to just get better when his confidence comes back, when the pressure on him gets reduced. We have a strong front line. We are not using them. I don't know what is going on with Pazero. Maybe his injury or something. I don't know how he's choosing his team. We don't have a good front line yet. They are not effective yet. We don't have a good midfield yet. They are not effective yet. But we have a tight defense. I hope he will give them a chance to express themselves, and the team will become better and better.
All right, many thanks again for that elaborate submission. But let me quickly tell my team back home that we still have 7 minutes right here. So, sir, I'm going to be asking you this because from recent investigations, Nigerian football squad, ranked as the most expensive national team in Africa. The Super Eagles, boost a lot of quality, especially in the attack with players spread across the European top league or leagues from the current squad. Only the goalkeepers are from local clubs in Nigeria. And I am more concerned about our local leagues, where champions like you came from, to be honest. What is happening to our local leagues and our choice of national team coaches? That's my first question to you. And this might be my last question to you because we're running out of time right now. From, how should I put it? A long way to go, or will I say we are almost there. Which one describes the NFF and our national team in terms of global competitiveness? These are my last two questions to you. I'm hoping that I'll be able to touch on one trending because the trendingness is very sensitive to me. Yeah.
Well, when you talk of the NFF or the national team, well, don't even compare them. See, the NFF is the hammer house of horror. There's confusion always. There's always confusion always. So it's not a positive brand per se. But when you talk of the Super Eagles, wow, it's one of the president of America came to Nigeria, and the first thing he asked about is about the Super Eagles and some of those players in there. That's the biggest brand you can imagine of Nigeria anywhere.